Hello. This video deals with database management of our delegates in CoCon Meeting Manager. Once you've opened Meeting Manager using a blank template or a template that you're going to edit or work off of, you'll see the database management is available in the upper left. So we'll click that. Here's where we deal with all things delegates. The database management is going to have anybody and everybody that could possibly be using this system. This could be multiple different organizations, different councils, boards, what have you. So this list can get pretty comprehensive and pretty large. I've got a few different names in here in my sample template, but I'm going to go ahead and start with a new one. So we're going to add a new name in. I'm going to click Add. This details section on the right lights up, and there's lots of information I can fill out. So a title is like putting Mr. or Miss. Then you have name and first name. This is a point of distinction. What's the difference? Well, it says name and first name. This is semantics, if you will, between Belgium and the US. Name means last name over there. Now, that being said, I recommend in most use cases that we put both the first and last name under this section. And the reason why is if we put them last name, first name, as kind of is hinted at, when we go to our synoptic, it reorders them and puts the last name first. Now, this makes sense in certain military organizations and certain governmental organizations. It's more common overseas, but for our purposes, it'll probably just make the synoptic a little confusing to look at. So we're just going to put the first and last name here. You can also put some additional information. You can have a password. This mostly deals with our Congressify, kind of follow along tablet app. You can put in the person's street address, their birthday, phone number, etc. You'll notice a grayed out area for badge, number, and backup badge. We do have a separate video on how the RFID badges are programmed and managed, so check that out for more information. For now, we'll leave the badges blank. The biography section, this is only going to show up if you're using a system with multimedia or our Unicos units. Same kind of thing as birth date and their street address and things if you want to put that in. That's only available to our multimedia units, so if you don't have a system with that, this information is not going to apply. One thing that will apply to voting systems is our vote options section. You'll need to check voting rights on the name of anybody that you want to have the ability to vote. If this isn't checked when a voting session is started, anybody that, let's say Joe Smith wasn't checked. When we go to start a vote, his mic won't be allowed to vote. The other thing you want to look at is voting weight. By default, everyone gets 1. What that means is everyone's vote counts as 1 vote. But maybe we're doing a shareholder meeting, and let's say some people may have 1 share, but let's say Joe Smith has 1,000 shares. Well, his vote, or he would count for 1,000 votes. Or you can work the other way. If 1 kind of is your greatest number for voting weight, and maybe somebody gets half a vote, you can do fractions of votes as well. So this is user definable. Change that back to 1 for now. Authority pass, this section is a way to manage proxy voting, so someone voting in place of somebody else. You can see the manual for more details on it. It's not a very commonly used feature. Another section down here is groups. It's not a bad idea to predefine groups, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But if this person does belong to a predefined group, you can simply check the box and they'll be put into that group. And another thing you can do is add a picture in. Again, this would apply to the Unicos multimedia units. People could see your picture associated with you there. And then you'll see the last items are fingerprints. More and more of our Unicos units are being made or purchased with the fingerprint readers built in, so this is where you would be able to register people's fingerprints. So when you are done editing, Simply click Save, and the name will show up in the delegate list. Now the other point we made was groups. What are groups and why do we care? As we said in the Delegate Management tab, this is for anybody and everybody who could possibly be using the system. Well, that can start to get unruly if we've got a large municipality, school board, what have you. But if you predefine groups, like in this case, I clicked on the budget working group and I just have 2 names. If I click on Parks and Rec, I have 5 names. That makes it very easy to manage the group and add them all into a meeting. When you're done working in this section, simply click back and you'll be returned back to the main Meeting Manager page. Thanks for watching.